Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his second season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked the team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the second time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. Second straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the first play of the game. 48 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run again on first down, Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On second down, Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Let's go.
From the red zone now, Cousins. This is screen to Abdullah. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. There's Drew Brees as he comes out onto the field, the 40-year-old quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He'll turn 41 in January, by the way. He already is the NFL's all-time passing yards leader. He could be the all-time NFL passing touchdowns leader at the end of this season, but he's got some competition. It's been Peyton Manning's record since 2015, but right now it's Brees and Tom Brady dueling to see who will have the top mark as we exit the 2019 season. Fun to watch down the stretch. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Go, go, go. Set.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. Check, check. Walk 54, walk 54. We ain't giving up nothing today.
On second down, Kamara. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 8.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
I got one. Wait, back.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds Cook. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing now is Breeze. Complete. Smith has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Breeze. And off the deflection, it's caught. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Breeze to throw again. Open man is Michael Thomas. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Ready? 95, 56. 54. On game,
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
Here's Breeze to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. The quick slant caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 8 yards out. as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back, but there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar, but top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football, and we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. A gain there of 30 big ones.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there to set them up 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Right there, 54 Mike. Rap. Mike 5-4.
Here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Check.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bailey's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock, so wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect, but the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Brees was out. 5-0. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. This is taken at the 15. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Throwing, Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Breeze now. And this one complete to Smith. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long...
Now Breeze drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. Come up the ball. Slam, slam, slam.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Washington. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
The Saints on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Breeze now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Kamara fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 35 on second down. Breeze. It's Hill. Complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down. Breeze now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to clear you up.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 14. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Breeze going to throw. And he's into the clear. The 40, 30, 20, 10. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point try by Bailey. It's good to make it 17-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Breeze. They complete it to Hill. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Saints on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Breeze. The open man is Smith. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Breeze now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Ready. Yellow wavy. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Gibbs got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the out. Ready, set.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 25.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Breeze now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. Breeze now to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now Breeze on third down. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 17 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and now it's second down. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number one, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next, and rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 38, Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, it'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Push him back. Push him back.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
95, 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he gets it down to the 32. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints' 32.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Again, it's Cook. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll run for it with Cook. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Ready.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Breeze now. That one complete to Hill. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. That's some strong running. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Running with Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
You ready? Mike. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Cousins gives way to Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Breeze. And this is Cook with the ground. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Again has it complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, it's Breeze. This is caught by Gibb. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down. Now Breeze again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Now Breeze. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? To throw is Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Lutz with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Cousins now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Watch the screen.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Vikings on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now Breeze looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
He can't hang.
Here's Breeze. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You got nothing to win. You got nothing.
And the blitz does come. Open man is Michael Thomas. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike, so I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Breeze to throw again. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Shamar Stephen busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll bring them back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And Diggs has it. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. David Onyemata there on the tackle. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Breeze going to throw. He's got Smith here. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Gaines got it. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Breeze. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
And how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion. Beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
Ready?
Throwing on first down is Breeze. He gets it complete to Harris. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Breeze now. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Shotgun now for Breeze. Pitch and catch here to Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Breeze now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing now is Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Kamara. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off. They
rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. Breeze going to go on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it, but 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more, and, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Hey, watch the ball.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So Breeze and the Saints down 28-24. A little over a minute to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
To throw is Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Ready? 54 Mike. What's that? Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. What's that?
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.